Xbox On. Welcome to Xbox On, a podcast with one host about one console, Xbox. I'm said host Jesse DeRosa, and on today's episode, we'll be talking about the latest Xbox news for the week of August 21st, 2025, including Black Ops 7 got a full reveal at Gamescom 2025, Halo ODST is officially crossing over with Helldivers 2, ex-Gears of War boss Rod Fergusson is now heading Bioshock 4 development, all that and more. Don't worry about this day in Xbox history, guys. It's time for some opening night live Gamescom 2025 extravaganza, guys. Finally got some news. I'm so excited to talk to you guys about it. I'm so excited. We got real Xbox show to talk about. They got Call of Duty and they got Battlefield in the same show. They said, Jesse, you don't have the budget to do Call of Duty and Battlefield on the same podcast. And I said, listen here, you simple-minded fool. I have enough money to not only do Call of Duty and Battlefield on the same podcast, but I'll do give me 7 Call of Duties and 6 Battlefields. I'll do them all on the same podcast right now. And so it begins, guys. Welcome to episode 325. And you'll remember, if you've been listening to the podcast since about, episode 3 or 4, I've been saying I have a good feeling about episode 325. Longtime listeners of the show will know. I always said I had a good feeling about episode 325. And here we are all these years later, 6 years later, episode 325. Pretty good episode for Xbox news and podcast conversation, don't you think? Guys, we got some notable game releases coming to the Xbox platform. If you were saying, hey, I wish I got to play Black Myth Wukong last year. It was a PlayStation exclusive. Those PlayStationers bought the rights so that Xbox couldn't play the game. Well, I got some good news for you. Now Xbox can play the game. They can play Black Myth Wukong on the Xbox Series S and X home console. But I don't care. But what I do kind of care about is a new game called Voidbreaker, which is in early access and has launched into Xbox Game Pass for PC and console. This game is available now to play, and this game looks pretty cool. It's a roguelite, first-person shooter, customize your own guns, whatever, repeat, shoot, gun game. It looks mildly fun. I watched the trailer for it earlier today. I'm like, hey, if I still had Game Pass, I'd definitely give that a go, but I'm very busy with other games right now, and I'm not really looking to, I guess, expand. It sounds bad, but I'm not really looking to expand my horizons at the moment. I'm like very fixated on what I know I want to play, and so this just doesn't make the cut. But if I was in one of those moods where I was like, let's dabble around and see what all is going on in Game Pass, this is a game I would check out in a heartbeat. Maybe one day, but games come and go from Game Pass so fast these days. It's hard to get around to everything. Anyway, guys, welcome to Xbox On, episode 325. Always said I had a good feeling about this one, you know? So the way we're going to do this, guys, is we're going to just talk about all the Gamescom stuff and Call of Duty, and then we'll get into regular news, and then we'll get into the other shenanigans of the podcast. So I like to just kind of keep it going because I'll be completely honest, as excited as I am about the solid news lineup we have this week, I'm just exhausted. I had a very unique day at work today, and it just fucking took me out. So if it weren't for the fact that it's Wednesday and I needed a podcast, I would just be, I'm recording right now at 7:57 p.m. I would just be asleep already if it weren't for this, honestly. So we're going to keep a steady pace going because I don't have the energy, although I am excited about what all we have to talk about. So let's kick things off with Gamescom 2025. I'll be honest with you guys, I very intentionally did not watch the opening night live Jeff Keighley show because the Game Awards in December, it's usually pretty solid. There's always some criticism to be thrown around, but it's usually pretty solid. Summer Game Fest, it's significantly worse than the Game Awards, but there's usually a couple really solid announcements throughout that event. Opening night live at Gamescom, this is the Jeff Keighley event that is always, without a doubt, boring as fuck. I never care about it. It's always a waste of my time. So this year I said, I don't care if I have an Xbox podcast. I don't owe anything to anyone. I'm not watching this. I don't want to watch this. I'm not going to watch it. So I didn't watch it. I just did the things I had to do that day. And then later on that night, I read through all the announcements, watched a couple trailers that I was interested in. And I was like, wow, I feel like I just respected so much more of my time by not watching 3 hours of Jeff Keighley being like, it's amazing when games sell so many copies on Steam and are developed by one person. This next game is being funded by Microsoft. I hope you enjoy. Speaking of Microsoft, we kick off with Call of Duty Black Ops 7, a game that I've been on record saying I'm cautiously optimistic about. I know a lot of people want to hate this game, especially with Battlefield 6 kind of being awesome. It's one of those years where like everyone has the whole like hate boner for Call of Duty, and they're like, "Oh, Battlefield 6 is amazing. Fuck Call of Duty." It's like, okay, well, what if? Get this. What would happen if both games were awesome? Could we get two awesome games instead of one of them having to suck and one of them having to be amazing? So I've been cautiously optimistic about Black Ops 7, mostly because it's the direct sequel, or it's the game that is the sequel to Black Ops 2, which is just a game I'm very, very personally attached to and very nostalgic for. And so there's just something really exciting about we're revisiting that story after 13 years now. And, that's really been the crux of why I've been cautiously optimistic, because I feel like Black Ops 2 is the last Call of Duty game left that hasn't had some kind of direct sequel where it's like, all right, guys, if you're going to do a follow-up to this one, or if you're going to touch this one again, make sure you handle it well. They brought back Modern Warfare by rebooting it. They've done follow-ups to Black Ops 1 with like Black Ops Cold War. They've done follow-ups to World at War, where that's what the original Black Ops was. They've taken favorite Call of Duty games in the past and done follow-ups, but they've never had a game that was as beloved as Call of Duty Black Ops 2, ignored it for 13 years, and then done a follow-up to it. So this is like, it's not that this is a long time coming or anything, or it's been a long time in the making. It's just that the fact that they've made the decision to do this, it just has me excited. A little nervous, because obviously the people working at Treyarch today are not the people who worked at Treyarch in 2012, and the world we live in today is very different. Call of Duty has changed quite a bit. But still, I hope that they understand just how much people love Black Ops 2, and that they understand that there's an inherent pressure to really make something special with this game in an effort to kind of pay proper homage to what a great game Black Ops 2 was. But anyway, with that said, let's just get into it. So needless to say, I've been cautiously optimistic. And actually, let me preface with one more thing. I think the other reason people have been quick to write this game off is because this is the second time now in Call of Duty history we've had this double cycle thing. And the only other time this has been done, it was a complete crap shoot of a game, which is to say this is, in 2022, Infinity Ward released Modern Warfare 2, and then a year later in 2023, Sledgehammer and Infinity Ward together released Modern Warfare 3, an immediate sequel in less than a year. And that game was slapped together, and it had these shitty Warzone patched up little multiplayer missions or campaign missions that were completely just brain dead, and the game sucked. I know people like the multiplayer of that game, but the zombies sucked, the campaign sucked, the stuff I care about really sucked. And the multiplayer, say what you will about it being good, it launched as just a bunch of remastered old maps. So again, it's just that game to me is a complete turd. It was all about just like turning something around quick, taking a DLC, making a full release out of it just so you have an excuse to sell a game that holiday season, because Call of Duty never misses a year. So I think a lot of people are tepid on Black Ops 7 because they assume that this is the same tactic being employed where, okay, Treyarch and Raven made Black Ops 6 for 3 or 4 years, and then now in the course of 1 year they're gonna churn out some dog shit DLC glorified half-ass sequel and call it Black Ops 7. But that's not what this game is. And in fact, Treyarch has made it clear that they have been developing Black Ops 6 and 7 in tandem for the past 4 years. So this is a game that they've been working on for roughly as long as they've been working on Black Ops 6. So that is a totally different conversation, because if anything, that might mean that this is kind of an inverse of what happened with Modern Warfare 2 and 3, where Black Ops 6, a game that launched in a pretty good state and people liked a lot, ended up having horrible post-launch support and ended up really disappointing people with how anemic the post-launch content was, might have fallen victim to Black Ops 7 getting the majority of the development attention between the two games. So it is possible that Black Ops 6, a game that I thought was fine but flawed in many ways, could end up being the weaker of these two back-to-back Black Ops games we're getting from Treyarch and Raven, in a 1 year time frame between Black Ops 6 and 7, 2024 to 2025. So anyway, all that just to say, I think there's been a lot of excuse making, a lot of expectation, and a lot of valid reasoning to think that this game is going to be some shitty slapped together DLC nonsense. But let's talk about what was shown, and now we can have a conversation about it, because whatever, I'm a Call of Duty guy. Fuck it, I don't need to apologize. Xbox people are Call of Duty people. This is a relevant game to this podcast. Anyway, So, from VGC, the release date for Call of Duty Black Ops 7 has officially been confirmed, as Activision has revealed the co-op campaign gameplay at opening night live at Gamescom. The game will be released on November 14th. More information on Black Ops 7 Zombies and multiplayer is set to be revealed at Call of Duty Next, which will take place on September 30th. Activision confirmed, as well as information for the next Warzone iteration. The game can be played solo or with up to 4 players. You can see gameplay from the campaign in the trailer that has been released, and additionally, a 17-minute video has been released that is a developer direct on the Black Ops 7 game that you can be found on the Call of Duty YouTube page. Quote, in Black Ops 7, you can go solo or squad up with up to 3 other players in an innovative campaign that redefines the Black Ops experience, says Activision. This is a story of developers at Treyarch and Raven Software they've been building together, designing deeper within the Black Ops universe. An overriding goal with the story of Black Ops 7 is to tell a story that could stand on its own while honoring the legacy of the series. Throughout development, there were meaningful opportunities allowing us to the reconnection of characters and storylines from earlier Black Ops titles, bringing them into the near future setting where the presence could elevate to the experience. The year's 2035, and the world is on the brink of chaos, ravaged by violent conflict and psychological warfare following the events of the fan-favorite titles Black Ops 2 and Black Ops 6, says the description of the game. Wielding cutting-edge technology, the Black Ops team, led by David Mason, must fight against a manipulative enemy who weaponizes fear above all else. The Standard Edition will actually, and just as a side note, a lot of people thought this was the year where we'd start seeing Call of Duty on Nintendo. They did not announce this game for Switch 2. Another thing is a lot of people were saying, will this be the first $80 game from Xbox because Call of Duty can get away with it? And confirmed, no, this game will be a $70 game. It will not be the first $80 game from Xbox. So just want to get those things out of the way. I thought this game showed really, really well. The developer direct that went on YouTube after Gamescom, I thought was way better than just the campaign trailer, because you get a lot of information about the multiplayer and even zombies and stuff, despite the fact that they say that the full reveals for those modes isn't happening until Call of Duty Next in September. But I do just want to say this game, I think, looks pretty good. Now, does it look like the best Black Ops game ever? No. Am I a little disappointed by some aspect of it? Yes. And what I mean by that is I want this game to look like an immediate sequel to Black Ops 2, but it looks like the setting-wise, it looks like the perfect midpoint between Black Ops 2 and Black Ops 3. And Black Ops 3/4 is really where you start losing me with Call of Duty. I really don't like that setting, that time period. And I just feel like they take it too far and they really fuck up everything special about these games once you get to like Black Ops 3. So that I don't love. But the game has a unique HUD. It has a unique art style. The levels and the campaign missions that they show in the trailer look good. It looks like it has linear, typical Black Ops missions or Call of Duty missions. It doesn't look like it has those slapped together sandboxy Warzone levels from Modern Warfare 3 that were just easy to develop for. So they made those because they had like 8 months to build a whole game. This looks like a proper, handcrafted, from the ground up, full-fledged Call of Duty campaign. And then in addition to that, this game is chock full of content. It has traditional round-based zombies. It has regular multiplayer that has tons of new maps, tons of new weapons. I think they said 16 maps at launch, 32 weapons, something like that. And then it has a full campaign. But in addition to that, now the campaign is also co-op, which is like the first time since, I don't know if Black Ops 3 had a co-op campaign, but I know World at War had a co-op campaign. I think Black Ops 3 may have as well. And then on top of that, once you beat the campaign, there's like an end game. So like in campaign in this game, you can earn XP and level up your guns and unlock stuff. And then once you beat the campaign, there's like this end game open world area. People are saying it might be something like a cross between like zombies and DMZ mode from Modern Warfare 2 or something. I don't know, but like you can play in this like persistent live service kind of campaign mode after the credits roll and continue to unlock and do things and squad up with your buddies. And the game continues to go on through that, in addition to the typical multiplayer, in addition to Warzone, in addition to zombies. And in addition to all that, Dead Ops Arcade, the top-down twin-stick shooter that's in some Black Ops games, also returns in this game. So the game is chock full of content, has a really good art style that I will just say looks very distinct from the Call of Duties we've been getting the past 5 years. And they've made some really bold decisions that are clearly fan favorite moves, like tactical sprint's been removed and it's been relegated to a perk. And like you can wall jump, but you can't wall run. And there was a lot of concern that they were going to bring wall running and jetpacks in this game, but they made it clear, hey, we're not doing that. The only real disappointing news here, I mean, the new guns look phenomenal. I like the arsenal in this game looks really cool. The maps look cool. The settings look cool. You go to all these world locations. You get to see like Tokyo lit up on neon lights. You get to see this Alaska cabin in the woods and all this shit. And it's like, okay, this is a nice change of pace from all the garish, like fucking Iraq war bullshit we've been seeing in Call of Duty the past few years. So that's nice. But the only thing I want to, I guess, gripe about here, what was I about to say? Did I already lose my train of thought? I may have. We may have to come back to it. But I'm overall pretty impressed with what we saw here. It looks like a pretty fully developed, completed package here, in that it's not like some slap together DLC like we got with Modern Warfare 3 in 2023. And so assuming that this is like a full-fledged game, I'm pretty excited. And while, yes, every Call of Duty is worked on with all the Call of Duty teams, of course, everyone works on every Call of Duty. Each Call of Duty does have core studios that lead the development. And just like Black Ops 6, this game is being led by Treyarch for all the multiplayer stuff and the overall art, the overall game itself. And Raven is headed up the campaign. So it is the traditional Black Ops teams that are headed this project, and for all those reasons, I'm pretty excited. The open beta is going to be in early October, like the week before Battlefield 6 comes out. So it's going to be like Call of Duty next, Black Ops 7 beta, Battlefield 6 comes out, then Call of Duty Black Ops 7 comes out. So it's going to be a busy back and forth between Black Ops 7 and Battlefield 6. And what I'm really hoping is that we find ourselves in a unique position where both of these games fucking rock, and it's like, wow, I want to play both of them because they're both so good, instead of it being like, oh, Battlefield 6 was awesome, fuck Black Ops 7. I really hope that's not the case. Oh, they're also bringing back, in addition to regular round-based zombies, survival zombie maps that are kind of like transit from Black Ops 2. So like, I mean, they're really like throwing the fucking kitchen sink into this game. It's a content complete package. So it sounds like for $70 you can get some insane value with this game. But yeah, I mean, I just think it looks good. It does have a lot of Black Ops 2 spirit in it, which I'm excited about. But it has some Black Ops 3 in it, which I'm less than excited about. And it looks like it's kind of tamping down on some of the things that modern Call of Duty does that I really don't care for. Man, I hope this game feels a lot less like Black Ops 6, a little bit more like a Cold War or something. But Omni Movement returns. They said, oh yeah, Omni Movement's getting tweaked and reworked a little bit. Should be a little better now. Which I liked Omni Movement in Black Ops 6. I thought that was one of the cool features of that game. And then the only other bad news I want to mention is beginning with Season 1, so probably around December or January, they're going to bring the Carry Forward program back. So this was the Modern Warfare 2 and 3 thing, where because Modern Warfare 3 came out a year after Modern Warfare 2, you could carry forward your skins, your guns, and all that stuff into Modern Warfare 3. And unfortunately, they are going to do that with this game, where you can carry forward your Black Ops 6 content in skins and guns and everything into Black Ops 7, which means that while the first few months of the game will be nice and fun, by the time January rolls around, this game's going to have fucking the Ninja Turtles and Beavis and Butthead and Nicki Minaj and Bill Nye the Science Guy all running around shooting each other. So the game is going to look like Call of Duty throw up garbage like every modern Call of Duty does. So that's just a huge disappointment as always, but you couldn't really expect that to change. So I can't say I'm surprised, but I can say I am still disappointed from that regard. But that is one of the things Battlefield 6 is here to rectify. So yeah, I mean, we'll see more of it over time, and obviously we'll get the beta before the game comes out. So we'll talk more about it once I've played the game. But so far, I am pretty optimistic on Black Ops 7. Do I think it looks better than Battlefield 6? I mean, hard to say, because Battlefield 6 was like, oh yeah, that looks good, I'll play that for sure. And then I played it and I was like, this game is crack, I love this game. So I don't know, maybe this game looks good and it sucks, or maybe this game looks good and it's good, maybe it looks good and it's amazing, I don't know. But I do think it looks good, and I am excited for it in tandem with Battlefield 6. And I say that knowing full well that Battlefield 6 is like currently my most anticipated / favorite game of the year, because I played 25 hours of that beta and I just can't get enough of it. But anyway, that's Black Ops 6. And then let's talk about some other things that were announced at Gamescom or Opening Night Live or whatever the fuck you want to call it. So there was a new trailer for Sonic Racing Crossworlds, the new racing Sonic game. And every time we see this game game, I actually get less excited for it because traditionally I love these Sonic racing games, but this one really is just like IP throw up the racing game. So this time they announced that in Sonic Racing Crossworlds, there will be a Pac-Man crossover. So Pac-Man will be in this game, and then Sonic's going to have some crossover in Pac-Man World 2 Remastered. So I don't really know what all that entails, but I'm not loving it. But Sonic Racing Crossworlds does come out next month on September 25th, and so it was just another new trailer showing it off. So that's weird. Sonic and Pac-Man are having a crossover. But that was one, I guess, worth noting. Another one worth noting, because people just won't shut up about this game, is Hollow Knight Silksong was shown. Now, they're saying that's still supposed to come this year in 2025. I don't believe that for a second. I mean, this game has been borderline vaporware for years at this point, and it's been ultra hyped, and we still have barely seen anything of it. So for me to believe that's coming out in the next 3 or 4 months, it'd take a big it'd be a huge feat in order to get that turned around, because we still don't even have a date. They're just saying this year. But Silksong was shown again. I know a lot of people were really excited about that because they've been waiting to see more on it. But the next game that was shown was one I thought actually looks really cool, which is Lego Batman: The Legacy of the Dark Knight. So new Lego game from Traveler Tales, TT Games, the Lego guys. So nothing crazy, like, oh, just another Lego Batman game. Well, this is in that new Lego style game where it's like open world and everything, and it's a lot more than just these linear levels. But this game is like a love letter to Batman comics, TV shows, movies, and video games. And so I don't know how the story content's going to work in this game, but like if you watch the trailer, there are nods to all the Nolan movies, the new Matt Reeves movie. There are nods to the Flash movie from a few years ago. There are nods to the Batman Arkham games that came out on Xbox 360 and Xbox One. There are nods to Batman the Animated Show. So there's like there's nods to Lego Batman movie from Warner Bros. I mean, this is clearly a game that's just meant to be a fun, goofy, rompy love letter to Batman history. And I don't really understand how they're going to make that into a story or what they're going to do with it, but I do got to admit, this game looks really cool, and Lego games hit every once in a while, so I feel like this might be, it comes out next year. They just said 2026, no specific date, but this might be the next Lego game I play. I haven't played a Lego game since, like, Lego The Incredibles, and that was because I was working for a Disney blog at the time and had to review it. But I haven't, like, really played a Lego game in quite a while, so I feel like this would be a good one to hop into. Might be a fun Switch 2 game, actually, but this game looks pretty cool in my opinion. It's definitely on the radar. Nothing crazy that I'm, like, going nuts for, but it does look good. Next up, Relic Entertainment, the studio behind Warhammer 40k Dawn of War, showed Dawn of War 4. I think this is PC only, right? But it is, they showed fucking orc battles and all this stuff, and the game's launching next year, and people are all, oh, it's so nerd. I love orc battles. But no, if I'm being honest, this game looks good. It's an RTS. Again, I don't think this is coming to console. I think this is just PC. But I've never played any of the Warhammer RTS games. If this is anything like a StarCraft or Warcraft style RTS, I feel like I would like this. If this is, if you could say, oh, Warcraft, Command and Conquer fans, Dawn of War is a series you would enjoy, I think I've probably been sleeping on these games and should probably give this a try, because I really do like RTSs. And now that I'm playing my PC a little more, maybe just maybe I could get into this a little more. I don't know. I'm trying to play my PC more now that I'm trying to distance myself from my Xbox a little bit, but who knows? When Black Ops 7 comes out and Outer Worlds 2 and all that shit, Ninja Gaiden 4, I'm going to be up my Xbox's ass. Who am I kidding, right? But anyway, so that was Warhammer Dawn of War 4. Indiana Jones The Order of the Giants was shown next. They showed the new DLC that was previously announced. So that comes out on September 4th. So it's just a little trailer to be like, hey, we have new story content coming out soon. Takes place in that Rome section of the game again. But also we found out that Indiana Jones and the Order, the Great Circle, the Order of the Giant is the DLC. The Great Circle is the game. The Great Circle is coming to Nintendo Switch 2, which isn't all that surprising because Machine Games did manage to get the Wolfenstein games on Switch 1. So to get Indiana Jones on Switch 2 does feel like it's kind of following the trajectory they've already set here. But obviously, Bethesda's been big on supporting Nintendo in recent years, and so this doesn't entirely surprise me. But yes, it is an Xbox game coming to Nintendo Switch, notably the first Xbox game really coming to Switch. But this isn't really like what people are like, oh, Xbox games come to Switch. This isn't really what we're talking about. It technically counts, but like I think what people are eager to learn about is more so about like what am I trying to say? Seeing things like Halo and Gears of War and Starfield on Switch, which, by the way, the rumors Starfield 2 is coming to Switch, but still not announced or confirmed yet. Just as a side, I am watching gameplay of this Lego Batman game while I'm podcasting right now, and this game looks fucking awesome. Like, it looks so cool. It's like traversing the open world kind of looks like the Batman Arkham games. And this game looks fucking awesome. Like, you get all these gadgets like you get in the Batman Arkham games. Obviously, the combat is going to be probably pretty rudimentary and boring or basic, but it does look very good. Like, it looks better than like a typical Lego game, but I think this game is probably going to be like a must buy. Like, it looks surprisingly pretty fucking good. So anyway, just had to put that as a side note. Next up, they showed a game that I have been waiting to hear more on. I really, and I should probably clarify, I'm skipping a ton of games that were shown at this event because I'm tired of feeling obligated to talk about things I don't want to talk about, because this podcast has just become the podcast of layoffs, sad news, and Souls-like games. And so, with Gamescom, I'm going to have fun with it, and we're going to talk about the games that are either too important to ignore or games that I think look badass. And so that's kind of what we're doing here, just to clarify. But the next up game they showed was a game I've really been looking forward to getting an update on, which is John Carpenter's Toxic Commando. This is that new Saber Interactive made World War Z co-op zombie shooting game that looks so fucking cool. Where players, drive through like these infected zones and loot and shoot away with the hordes of zombies and all that shit. So this game is still set to come out next year in 2026, but it just looks so fucking good. This game looks like an absolute, I hate saying this, kind of like a Left 4 Dead or Killing Floor style game, but I know there's more to it and that it's not necessarily that kind of game, but it does look really, really, really badass, and the tone and the setting and the art style of it is just what's really capturing me. It just looks so gritty and gruesome and like fucking metal without being like, I don't know, having that like cringy modern video game thing. So I'm very much looking forward to giving this game a go when it comes out next year. I wonder if it will be a Game Pass game. I feel like there's an opportunity for Xbox to get in with Game Pass on this. Next up, they, speaking of Game Pass, got a new trailer for Ninja Gaiden 4, which is coming out October 21st and is the day one Game Pass game, a second party Xbox title for this holiday season. And they show a new trailer. I don't need to see any more of this game. I don't really care anymore. I'm going to play it when it comes to Game Pass, when it comes out in October. And this will be like my game in between Battlefield 6 and Black Ops 7. So I am looking forward to Ninja Gaiden 4. I fully expect it's going to be a really fun time. But I don't, I have nothing else to say. I feel like the initial reveal plus that black edition of Ninja Gaiden 2 was enough for me to be like, fuck yeah, let's do it. Ninja Gaiden 4. I'm on board. I'm sold. So Ninja Gaiden 4, still looking good. Still excited for that this fall. I mean, it's busy, man. We got, talk about September. We got, or I guess October. We got Battlefield 6, then Ninja Gaiden 4, and then in November we got Black Ops 7 and The Outer Worlds 2. So it's going to be a busy couple months there for Xbox this fall. And then speaking of Outer Worlds 2, they showed another trailer for it. Same thing. I don't need to see any more of this game. We've seen way more than enough. October 29th is when it comes out. Of course, it will launch on all platforms, but Xbox is where it's most notable, and it will be a Game Pass title. But yes, this is just it's just that thing where it's like Gamescom isn't making any announcements. They're just showing new trailers for games we've already seen, like Ninja Gaiden and Outer Worlds. But aside from that, at least we're getting announcements like Lego Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight, which looks pretty good. Let's see. So after Outer Worlds and Ninja Gaiden, we got another Xbox update. Yes, we're going through our Xbox games. Age of Empires Definitive Edition. So new updates, new DLC for Age of Empires 2 and 5, alongside first hands-on demo for Age of Empires Mobile PC Edition. So, whatever updates for Age of Empires. Again, very underwhelming, small stuff that's like, I just don't care. Most people don't care about this, but this is what Gamescom opening night live is like. Then, speaking of PC and nerd shit, World of Warcraft Midnight expansion was shown. So this is a new expansion that's releasing in 2026, featuring new story content, new zones, fully playable demonstration, and a long-awaited player housing feature. So for people still playing World of Warcraft, you got a big, sizable expansion coming out next year, which we got a trailer for here. But really, the game, the showcase closed out with two games that I think are kind of the headliners here, other than Black Ops 7, which is Resident Evil Requiem, which we already had announced from back during the summer. They showed a new deep dive, new gameplay trailer, which looks great, and revealed the launch date. Or was the launch date already revealed? I don't remember. February 27th, 2026, which is like kind of around the time these games always come out, it seems like. But yes, February 27th, Resident Evil Requiem, or Resident Evil 9, if you want to call it, that will be coming. And then we got the new trailer for it. I don't have anything to say about this game because I'm behind on Resident Evil. I still haven't even played Village, but I'm sure it's good. And then Black Myth Wukong is getting a sequel called Black Myth Zhong Kai Kui. Don't give a shit. Game Science, the guys who make Black Myth Wukong, unveiled the new game, Black Myth Zhong Kai Kui. Just as stylish as its predecessor, the reveal teased cinematic mythology, combat, and a larger-than-life rooted in Chinese folklore. Black Myth Zhong Kui impressed with its debut, though no release date has been given, so stand by for more information on that. Now that Black Myth Wukong, not Black Ops, is finally on Xbox, we can assume that this game will also come to Xbox, hopefully day and date and not a year later. But yes, if you're looking for your Souls-like update from this event, that was it. So those were really the games of Gamescom worth mentioning. Really, for me, the only thing I'm super excited about or really want to note is I'm glad Toxic Commando is still coming together and that we got an update on that. And then Lego Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight looks pretty fucking sick. And then Black Ops 7, to me, I think it's a promising looking Black Ops game. I don't know what to say. I don't have anything bad to say about it. But guys, that's really it for Gamescom. So we got Black Ops 7 to look forward to. I just refuse to be that guy that just shits on Call of Duty just for the sake of shitting on it. I will say I am of that camp, that's like very fed up and exhausted by how ridiculous Call of Duty's gotten with the celebrity skins and the crossover stuff. It's just turned into Fortnite, and it's been very disappointing to see it go down this path. And I don't love fighting the Ninja Turtles and Gwen Stefani every time I hop into Call of Duty. But aside from that very big complaint, Call of Duty to me is still an excellent game that comes out every year and pretty much never disappoints. Some years are better than others, but at the worst, what you get from Call of Duty is a very top tier first person shooter that's a lot of fun for at least a couple weekends, at most a couple months. So, it's good shit in my opinion. So anyway, so that's Gamescom. Now let's get into all the other news, because there's still a lot of news to get into. Starting with the ROG Ally. I don't know why this wasn't at Gamescom, why they did this a day later, or I should say opening night live. I always, whatever, Gamescom's multiple days, so technically this was at Gamescom. But the ROG Ally Xbox handheld thing that was announced over the summer officially has a release date. So let's talk about it. Microsoft announced the release date, which is... why are you burying it? Anyway, both the Ally X and the both the ROG Ally Xbox and the ROG Ally Xbox X will be released on October 16th. So just in time for the onslaught of Ninja Gaiden 4 and Outer Worlds and Black Ops 7 and all that stuff. Details about pricing and pre-orders are coming soon, according to Microsoft, but now we have a firm date. Alongside the announcement, Microsoft has revealed that the Handheld Compatibility Program, a new program which it calls a new Xbox initiative designed to make more games ready to play on your supported handheld. We have worked with many game studios to test, optimize, and verify thousands of games for handheld compatibility, which is kind of like what Steam Deck does, allowing you to jump into the games without having to tweak settings or require only minor adjustments. This appears to be Microsoft's version of Steam Deck's verified tag, which developers and publishers have used as a selling point on their Steam Deck's titles over the years. And at launch, there will be 2 tags, handheld optimized and mostly compatible. So this is how Microsoft describes the 2 tags that they're going to put on it. So if the tag is handheld optimized, it means that the game is ready to go with its default control inputs, intuitive text input method, accurate iconography, clear text legibility, and appropriate resolution in full screen mode. So you can spend less time adjusting settings and more time defeating the next big boss, as they say. And then the other tag is mostly compatible, which indicates that the game may require minor in-game settings changes in order to have an optimal experience on a handheld device. So that's cool that they at least are including this to kind of make it easier for people to read like what games are going to work and what games are going to run best on these devices. But still, the fact that they are burying the pricing tells me 2 things. One, tariffs and everything. They don't want to have to explain the pricing until the very last second because they want to come in at the best price point possible, and they still don't feel certain on that. And 2, the price is probably hefty, and they know it's bad news, and so they want to focus on all the other stuff right now and let the bad news of the price be a different conversation at a different date. But there has been some leaks I've been seeing online indicating that the lower end version will probably be around $500, $550, and that the more expensive version is going to be like about $900, which is a huge price gap between the two. $350, $400 between 2 models. It's a very, very notable amount of money that will make it seemingly so that I don't know, like 99% of people would probably buy the cheaper device of the 2, but you never know. I still think this device is incredibly uninteresting. I have no interest in buying it whatsoever. It's definitely not for me, but for those who are excited about it and interested in it, this is an exciting time because you got a release date. Now you just need to find out how much money you're parting with to get your hands on one of these things. Again, it's just, I don't know. I'd rather play my Logitech G Cloud or Steam Deck or something and wait for, hopefully one day, a real Xbox handheld and not some third-party device with an Xbox logo on it. But for those who are very much excited for this device, good for you. At least now you have a release date. Speaking of hardware prices and not being happy with them, this is not necessarily Xbox news, but I did want to mention this, that PlayStation has announced this week that they're raising their prices on PS5 consoles in the US after months of Xbox dealing with the backlash from raising prices of the Series S and X consoles in the US. So the PS5, the disc version is going up $50 from $500 to $550. The digital edition of the PS5 is going up from $450 to $500. So both these consoles are going up $50. And then the PlayStation 5 Pro edition is going from $700 to $750. So everything's just going up $50. Still makes PlayStation look a lot better than Xbox, just for the sake that the Series S went up like $80, so $380. But at least the Series S, I should say, is back to being the cheapest console in the market by a decent margin now. Because 500 versus 380, it's $120 for a digital console. And then the Series X went from what? It went to $600. So that's still a more expensive console than a PS5. But whatever. Xbox doesn't care about hardware anymore. So can you even say you're surprised? They literally don't give a shit about it. They just want to sell you Xbox games on PlayStation at this point. So just thought I'd mention that. But going back to PlayStation and making it more Xbox relevant, I did want to confirm a story from last week, which is that, yes, Halo ODST content is coming to Helldivers 2. So on August 26th, when the game comes to Xbox, this Halo content will also be added to the game. So they say, quote, enter the Obedient Democracy Support Troopers, or ODST, aka the Hell Jumpers, reads the synopsis for the collaboration. This new equipment is set for the Ministry of Defense and will give your Helldivers a look of a fabled unit every Super Earth citizen had on their school lunchboxes as kids. The ODST/Warbonds will allow players to unlock an MA5C assault rifle, an M6C SOCOM pistol, a M90A shotgun, an M7S SMG, an A9 Helljumper armor set, an A35 Recon armor set, and more. So it's basically Halo ODST weapons and armor being added to the game. So now not only can you play Helldivers 2 on an Xbox console, but you can play it with Halo skins on it. This is just so funny. I know people have always said, they're like, oh my god, this game is so Halo ODST. Why didn't they just make a Halo game like this forever ago? Whatever. We can get into that, but let's not. The bigger point here just being that it is so wild, to see. It's one thing where Xbox is playing nice with PlayStation. They're in that position where they kind of have to. But to see PlayStation play nice with Xbox is so fucking weird. Because, they just don't have to do this. Yet they chose to cooperate. And obviously this is a bigger give from Microsoft to PlayStation. But still, it's the fact that PlayStation is giving this game to Xbox is just still wild. And now they're going to cross it over with Halo content. It's just, this is that stuff where it's like, if you told me this when I was a kid, I would never believed you that any of this would happen. And here we are, just kind of nonchalantly being like, oh yeah, that PlayStation game's coming to Xbox and it's going to have a Halo crossover event. I guess it's because Fortnite has desensitized everything to the point where like nothing is impressive anymore. It's like, last night I was playing Fortnite with my girlfriend and her little sisters, and I was Captain America shooting fucking Ariana Grande repeatedly in the face with a sniper rifle, and that was our idea of having a good time. So I guess nothing really phases me anymore for a reason, because Sam Wilson, Captain America, is shooting Ariana Grande in the face, and we're supposed to call that kid-friendly entertainment these days. So anyway, I'm super excited about this. It looks sick. I'm going to buy this game on Xbox just to show my support for PlayStation games coming to Xbox, but yeah, I'm not going to lie. It definitely doesn't hurt that we're going to get some Halo content along with it. So next week, be sure to play some Helldivers 2 on your Xbox with some Halo content. It should be pretty fucking cool. You got the assault rifle, the shotgun, the SMG, the Magnum. All these iconic Halo weapons just fucking here with recon armor on a PlayStation game. Just so odd, man. All right, guys, let's see. We got a couple more. Next one is like the last real big one I want to mention, which is that Rod Fergusson, formerly of the Coalition, is on to his next endeavor. So after leaving Blizzard very recently, Rod Fergusson has announced where he's headed next, and that is Cloud Chamber, the Bioshock team that was established in 2019 and tasked by 2K Games to come up with a fourth entry in the Bioshock series. So he wrote on social media, Rod Fergusson, regarding his onboarding to this team at 2K, this Cloud Chamber team. Would you kindly allow me to share some news? Some of you guessed it. I'm returning to 2K to lead a series that means a lot to me as the new head of the Bioshock franchise. I'll be headed up Cloud Chamber and overseeing development of the next Bioshock game, along with the franchise extensions like the in-development Netflix movie. He added, while I'm excited to get started in the coming weeks, I recognize the studio's restructuring is a difficult time for the team. I'm deeply grateful for the work done so far, and I'm committed to building a Bioshock game that we're really proud of and that our players will love. For now, the fire hose of onboarding awaits. I look forward to sharing more when I can. According to Bloomberg reporter Jason Schreier, Cloud Chamber has been laying off an unspecified number of staff lately. Earlier in the month, publisher 2K, said that Cloud Chamber Studios' Kelly Gilmore, the studio head, had left her role, while creative director Hogarth de la Plante had been moved to a publishing position. So for them to have been replaced by Rod Fergusson, now things are starting to connect dots-wise and all that. The decision reportedly came after the next Bioshock game, which has been in development for several years, failed an internal development review in which the appointment of Rod Fergusson is significant considering how this was brought into a steady... He was brought in to steady the ship of the last Bioshock game, 2013's Bioshock Infinite. Over his career, the former Gears of War producer has built a reputation as a closer who helps bring troubled projects to completion. Quote, "We work hard to set Bioshock up for the best possible future," 2K said in a statement earlier in the month. "Right now we have a good game, but we are committed to delivering a great one. We are working closely with leadership at the studio to define this path." A spokesperson confirmed leadership changes and said that they were fully committed to ensuring we deliver a Bioshock game that exceeds the lofty expectations of our fans. So this is really interesting. So from 2K to the Coalition to Blizzard, now back to 2K to work at Cloud Chamber. The guy's being tasked with fixing Bioshock 4, which is a kind of, in development mess right now. But the bigger story here is that this is why he left Activision Blizzard. So was it to get away from Microsoft, or was it because 2K offered him a deal too good to pass up? And my guess is kind of that, because Rod Ferguson's been on record multiple times talking about how his dream was to work at Blizzard on Diablo, and that he never wanted to leave that job or whatever. And then he left. So it just seems like he was probably given an opportunity that was like too good to pass up, and probably paid an absolute fuck you amount of money to come work on this Bioshock 4. It'll be interesting to see. I'm already very curious about this game because I can't imagine it'll be nearly as good as the original Bioshock games, but I do think they could make a pretty good Bioshock 4 if they wanted to, and it'll be interesting to see, you know, how he's able to steal the ship and lead it into a position where they make a pretty good game here. Man, I just wonder how long it's going to be before we really see this game. You think maybe another 2 years before they even try to start really thinking about getting this game out the door? It's been so long. We've been waiting so long for an update on this game, but it sounds like the update is the game's in development hell, back to the drawing board to some extent. But anyway, good to Rod Fergusson. Good luck with that. I guess now Xbox needs to buy 2K Games and Grand Theft Auto and all that shit just to get Rod Fergusson back again, which I have no doubt they'll probably get to work on right away. So stay tuned for that story inevitably. All right, guys, let's talk about another tier of Game Pass that's apparently coming. So Xbox has hinted at a more affordable Xbox cloud gaming service that could be in the works. So according to a Microsoft VP of Next Generation, Jason Ronald, who appeared on a newly published Xbox podcast to discuss the future of Xbox cloud gaming. Currently, the ability to stream games is locked to Game Pass Ultimate, which is the most expensive $20 tier of Game Pass, which has previously been revealed that Microsoft has been considering a dedicated cloud service. However, potentially powered by ads, and in the latest podcast appearance, Ronald hinted at plans for a dedicated cloud tier that could still be in the works. He said, quote, "One of the things that we see here is lots of players who use Game Pass Ultimate to access the cloud, whether they're the primary way that they play or an additional way to play on the go," he said to The Verge. "I think for us, it really opens up the opportunity to make it much more affordable, which makes it more accessible to players, whether that's going into new regions or new ways to actually access the Xbox cloud." So I think if they could do like a $10 cloud-only version of Game Pass, that'd be fucking great for people who want to play Game Pass on their Roku stick or whatever. But I think this statement is probably more so aimed at different audiences, talking about parts of Africa and Asia and stuff, where adoption of home video game consoles is not very common, especially Xbox, LOL. And that the idea is that maybe you can get people in these other countries to play by like having some cheap service or ad-supported service to get people to play Game Pass stuff on their phones and tablets and such like that. So I'm guessing that is a way of them bringing that conversation back up, because we've seen Phil and other people bring this conversation up time and time again over the years. And so I suspect that that's really what this is about. Although I think there is a market for a $10 version of Game Pass, like a PC Game Pass or something that's just for cloud gaming. Although I wonder if they're afraid of doing it because it will cannibalize Ultimate subscriptions. And if the point is that people who want cloud are usually savvier tech forward, like new tech people, and those are the kinds of people who are also willing to pay the highest subscription tier at $20, and so you don't want to risk fracturing that market anyway. So I wonder if that's where that comes from. But I would welcome a new cloud gaming tier, because I love using cloud gaming for my my Logitech G Cloud, and it would be cool to not always have to pay $20 a month just to play fucking Fusion Frenzy in bed on my little tablet. So that's a good idea. Earlier in this week, we got an update on Fallout Season 2 from Amazon. They said that the series will premiere on December 17th this year, which is not bad. It's a year and a half after the first season came out. It's impressive. It will pick up after the aftermath of Season 1's epic finale and take the audience alongside a journey through the wasteland of the Mojave post-apocalyptic city of New Vegas. I know people are very excited about this, and there's some set photos and things like that have been released from like Entertainment Weekly or one of those places. But anyway, so that's going to come out later this year in December. Lots of things to look forward to there, as the Fallout TV show was quite good. I'm sure Season 2 will also be nice. And then next, this is just a curse thing I want to mention in passing. Atari announced a Bubsy 4D, which is coming to Xbox consoles and PC, and that made me deeply unsettled, and I don't like where the world is headed as a result of that. And then lastly, for Gamescom news and things like that, or news this week, I should say, is that Shenmue 3 is getting an enhanced edition and coming to Xbox and Nintendo platforms. So finally, you'll be able to play all your Shenmue games on Xbox. Now that Shenmue 3 is coming to Xbox, this will be sometime they don't have a date here, but this game sold like shit. I don't care about it. Shenmue 1 was an important game at the time for what it was, but come on, man. Shenmue doesn't need to exist. Go play Yakuza like a normal fucking person. But anyway, Yep, that series is coming back to Xbox. So the second one and the third one will be on Xbox, and the first one is stranded on Dreamcast, because why not? And then just to wrap up the news, guys, let's do some quick updates on games coming and leaving the Game Pass service. So available today, as the time you're listening to this, Blacksmith Master is on game preview for PC Game Pass, as well as Void Breaker, which we talked about. So it looks like that's coming to Xbox, but it's only on Game Pass through PC. And then Goat Simulator Remastered comes out in Game Pass Standard, and then Ultimate Edition subscribers and Standard subscribers will get Persona 4 Golden. Additionally, Herdling comes out to Game Pass console and PC. It's a day one Game Pass game. And then coming soon, beginning next week, we'll get Gears of War Reloaded, which is a big one, day one Game Pass, of course. And Dragon Age The Veilguard, which was just on PlayStation Plus, so not surprising that we're getting it on Xbox now. These games usually tick back and forth between the two. But leaving Game Pass at the end of the month on August 31st will be the following games: Ben 10 Power Trip, Borderlands 3, Paw Patrol Mighty Pup Save the Adventure Bay, Sea of Stars, and This War of Mine Final Cut. So give them a try now if you want to give these games a try at all, because they will be leaving soon. You guys, I got to take a little vocal break before we get into what I've been playing and the listener comments and all that. So that's it for the news. Let's take a quick break here, and we will join back in just a moment. All right, guys, let's talk about the games I've been playing this week. But before I can tell you about the games I've been playing, I first got to tell you what it is I've been eating. Hey, Jesse, Mr. Parksy writes in and says, not commenting for a few weeks, but I felt I needed to leave you a comment this week. So last Tuesday, I finally got to try Taco Bell, and oh my God, it was good. A little backstory. I live in West Midlands, and in December 2023, a small town called Oldbury got a Taco Bell restaurant open. It did. Sorry. Within 3 weeks, it had a fire and close. I love this story. He got a Taco Bell in good old West Midlands, and then within 3 weeks, it caught on fire and shut down. It caught the plague. Then finally, in December 2024, it reopened. So only last week have I had the chance to go. So I had my Cali meal, comprising of a Cali burrito, a soft or hard taco shell, fries, 2 churros, and a bottomless soft drink, all for about 11 pounds. I also added a beefy nacho craving mini burrito for 2 pounds. I enjoyed it so much that I went back again on Thursday, had the same thing again, but this time I added a mini quesadilla for 2 pounds, and this was going to be my new pre-match meal when going to watch night matches or football. Keep up the great work on the podcast. Parksy, this is excellent. Yes, going to watch soccer, as we for some reason call it, football, but a more apt name, perhaps. Anyway, listen, I can't understand what you ate, because these menu items are not what we have on the Taco Bell menu in the States, or at least these items are not what they're called. Here we have nothing on our menu called a Cali meal. We don't have a Cali burrito, although California style burrito generally means something like fucking throw guacamole and French fries in there. So I'm assuming it has potatoes of some kind in this burrito. Soft or hard shell tacos. We got tacos. We don't have churros, which sucks. I know Taco Bell in a lot of countries has churros. We don't. We get those shitty little cinnamon twists that suck. And then yeah. But anyway, I get the sentiment. You have Taco Bell. You got to try Taco Bell. And Mr. Parksy, I must. I'm so happy for you. I'm so happy that the Yum Group, or whoever the fuck owns Taco Bell nowadays, got to pop your little Taco Bell cherry all the way across the pond, and that now, while you're on your way to watch very athletic men go play soccer, you get to eat 2,400 calories of fast Tex-Mex food. So I'm super happy for you. And the reason I want to read this comment here is because, well, if I'm talking about what I've been eating, I got to be honest, Mr. Parksy, I've also been eating Taco Bell, because Taco Bell had a couple items come out recently that I wanted to try, and it's been long enough that I can have some guilt-free Taco Bell, and so that's what I've been eating. And I have had Taco Bell, I'm not going to lie, twice in the past week, and I'm not going to lie, those 2 times I had Taco Bell were the same fucking day. I'm not going to get into that. I don't need to explain myself to you. Fuck you. But here's the thing. Couple things going on at Taco Bell right now that are phenomenal. They got these new steak burritos on their $3 value menu, their quote $3 value menu. I guess the new 89 cent is $3. But anyway, There's two of them. There's a ranch grilled steak burrito, and there's a grilled cheesy melt burrito. The cheesy melt grilled steak burrito is awesome. For $3, it's not bad. It's a smaller burrito. It has steak, rice, cheese, sour cream, and a like a special ranch type sauce. What do they call that? They call it it's a creamy jalapeno sauce. So mozzarella, pepper jack, creamy jalapeno sauce, rice, steak, and sour cream. This shit was so good. I love this thing. I've had 3 of these in the day or two I've had. Anyway, gotta get into it. They're phenomenal. I like them a lot. For $3, it's a great value menu item. Taco Bell, the value menu might not be as value driven as it once was, which is why they call it the cravings menu now. But the items on that menu pretty fucking good. I love that new steak burrito. I love the classic stacker. I love the 3 cheese chicken flatbread melt. I love the cheesy double beef burrito. So I just want to give a shout out to the cravings menu because it really has some items I absolutely adore. So that was the first thing. All right. The second thing is, for the 3rd year in a row, they have returned the Cantina chicken and steak cheesy street chalupas, which are great. They're these. It's an order of 2. They're small little chalupas, kind of like when you get like real authentic tacos and they're small little corn tortillas. This is like that size. It's like inspired by real street tacos, but they're mini chalupas with these toasty cheesy shells. And then you get either chicken or steak, and then they load it with sauce, onions, and cilantro. I always get them with steak. So they came back this year, and they are just as good as they've always been. Although I must say, the last time I got them, I had almost like no meat or sauce in mine. So that was just that Taco Bell fucking up and making a shitty order for me, which is whatever it is, what it is. Sometimes you don't get so lucky. But other than that, I mean, oh my God, these are so good. They were great 2 years ago when they came out. They were great last year when they came back, and they're great this year when they've come back. So I want to give a shout out to the cheesy street chalupas. I think, $6 for 2 of them. It's like $3 a taco. Not a bad idea. Not a bad deal when you consider if you go to like a legit Mexican restaurant, you're going to pay $2-3 a taco anyway. So not a horrible value, but just not fast food value. But they are fucking delicious, so I highly recommend them. The final item at Taco Bell that has come out recently that I want to talk about is a brand new Mountain Dew soda, which is called Mountain Dew Baja Midnight. It is a purple Mountain Dew Baja Blast flavor. It's an entirely new Mountain Dew drink, and I want to try this thing. So it's a new fountain drink. It's a new Mountain Dew, and so I went to Taco Bell after a meeting at work the other day, and I'm like, yo, let me try that new Mountain Dew Baja Midnight. And the lady on the intercom, this is so Orlando, she goes, oh, I'm sorry, we don't have. I'm like, okay, that's fine. And like, like I'm looking at the menu board and there's like 75 fucking billboards and signs and pop-up screens and a television. And it's all like, try Mountain Dew Baja Midnight. And she's like, I'm sorry, we don't have it. We have the advertisement, but we don't have the product yet. And I was like, oh, okay, that's fine. So I said there, I was like, oh, well, so be it. I was like, can I just get a regular Baja Blast instead? That's literally what I said to her. But of course, it's Florida where nothing makes sense and everything's always like just lost in translation. So I said, can I just get a regular Baja Blast? This lady sits still, dead silent for what felt like 17 and a half seconds and goes, yeah, I know, sweetheart. It's so sad that Mountain Dew Baja Midnight is not available. But you know what? I have a feeling it will be available very soon. So can I get you something else to drink? I'm like, that is the most fucking Florida response I could have gotten. Of course, it's like absolute, just everyone has 0 brain cells, but also everyone is super nice because people here are so much nicer than most other places I've been in my life. But I just like internally, I'm just dying. I'm just like, that is like the most like, just so far, like that response has absolutely nothing to do with even remotely anything I said. But your response was so thoughtful and so cute and so sweet. I was just like, I appreciate that, ma'am. Thank you very much. May I please have a Baja Blast? And she goes, okay, so would you like a Mountain Dew Baja Blast? I'm like, holy fucking shit, get me out of here. Get me the fuck out of here. And so I ended up getting just a regular Baja Blast. And she's like, how about a large, honey? And I'm like, no, I'll take a small. And she goes, oh, really? You just want small? I'm like, yes. And that was my experience trying to get a Mountain Dew Midnight Baja, whatever the fuck they're calling it. So anyway, is what it is. Luck of the draw. I'm not going to bitch and moan about it. This is how fast food goes. Half the time your order's wrong. Half the time they're sold out of whatever you want. Or my favorite is the one where you mobile order something and you already paid for it, and then you get there and they say, we don't have that, and you're like, can I get a refund? They're like, no. That's a good one. But anyway, so that's how that went. Then later that night, I'm driving home and I'm like, oh, hey, honey, because I'm talking on the phone with my girlfriend. I'm like, yeah, I tried to get the new Baja Blast that Taco Bell has, but they didn't have it. It was sold out. And she goes, oh my God, can you stop at the Taco Bell that's near our house on the way home and try to pick it up? I was like, oh yeah, maybe they have it at the Taco Bell near our house. You know what? I already had Taco Bell for lunch, but if you're telling me you want Taco Bell for dinner, she's like, it's been a long time. Can we get Taco Bell for dinner? I was like, not going to say no. It's my life. I can choose how to kill myself however I choose, however I see fit. So I stopped by the Taco Bell near my house, and same thing. I get the chalupas, I get the little steak burrito thing. I'm excited, and I'm like, and can I try the new Baja Midnight? And they have like signs, and there's a fucking TV. There's like a guy in a Mountain Dew costume flipping a sign, and they got like all the advertisements in the world. And the lady goes, I'm so sorry, we don't have Mountain Dew Baja. I don't know why they put all these advertisements up. Everyone keeps asking for it, but we don't even have it yet. And I was like, oh, that sucks. All right, I'll just do a regular Mountain Dew Baja Blast. And then, so that was it. So I still haven't tried Baja Midnight. I will try to give it a try when I can try to get to it. So I try to believe that I will eventually get lucky enough that if I keep trying, my taste buds might try and imagine the magic of Mountain Dew Baja Midnight. But anyway, for now, it's apparently this elusive, non-existent, falsely advertised drink that's never been at a Taco Bell establishment. But anyway, that sums up the latest and greatest of what's going on at the world of Taco Bell. So that right there, my friends, is what I've been eating. And now I think we can move on to what I've been playing. And for what I've been playing, this might not be fun, but for what I've been playing, it is the exact same thing I was playing last week because it's so goddamn good. And that is the Battlefield 6 beta. All weekend, I played Battlefield 6, and I had a blast. And this weekend, I didn't try it on my Xbox again. I didn't flip around from mouse and controller to keyboard and this and that. I didn't test this or test that. I just sat my ass at my computer like a fucking nerd and stared at my screen and played Battlefield 6 for 25 hours. And I had a phenomenal weekend. I had so much fun. This game is so great, but I feel like we need to address an elephant in the room, which is that last weekend, weekend one of the beta, everyone's reaction was like, holy shit, Battlefield 6 is amazing. This beta is so good. And then weekend 2 rolls around and not much changes, but immediately the whole discourse is, fuck Battlefield 6. This game is cooked. This game sucks ass. Fuck you, DICE. Fuck you, EA. Fuck you, mom and dad, for ever giving me thumbs to play Battlefield with. And it was just so much negativity. I'm like, why is the internet like this, man? Obviously, the beta was different. They had different modes. They had a new map. They had some other stuff. Like, it was changed. There's a slightly different build of the game. I will agree with some of the complaining. The game felt a little different the second weekend. And I will agree, it felt a little better the first weekend. But the point is, it's a fucking beta. They're probably fine-tuning things in A/B testing different, like, netcode and player fucking registration and ping and different toolings and tunings of controls and gun feedback and all these things. They're probably subtly testing a bunch of fucking things and getting player telemetry to decide what the best course of action is as they try and fine tune this game for final release in the next 2 months. So it's like, yeah, I actually agree. I'm not smart enough to be able to put my finger on what was different, but this weekend did feel a little different. In that it just felt a little sweatier. It felt like the game was a little more competitive. And I liked some of the modes that were in last week that were featured more than some of the new modes this week. But overall, the game was still pretty much just as fucking great as it was the week before. And I stayed up like all Saturday night and got all the challenges that were in the beta, unlocked all the items and abilities, fully ranked up to level 20. And just basically did everything this beta had to offer, and I just had a phenomenal time. And I just gotta say, Battlefield 6 is possibly my favorite game of the year so far. It's crazy to say. It's like I played 25 hours of it. I played enough of it that I can speak to it, but I've played the beta, not the real game. But despite that, so far, I'm gonna say Battlefield 6, It's possibly my favorite game this year. It's definitely in the top 5. It will be hard for me to imagine any game knocking this out of the top 5. But when we talk about favorite games of the year, in December, like we always do every year, I will be dumbfounded that this game does not easily make it into my top 5 favorite games of the year, because I'm just having an absolute blast with this game, fucking loving it. I love playing with all the classes, trying to knock out the challenges and do med for a while, and then do the anti-tank stuff for a while, and then do the scout stuff, which I didn't like that much for a little while because it's the class I don't like. But just playing the different classes and finding out all the ways in which they're special, and enjoying the game from not just getting kills, but like focusing on different objectives. So the game is just so fun. There's so many ways to play it. And I just, I know a lot of people are complaining that the maps are too small in this game, but the thing I love about this game is the maps are smaller, so it just feels like I'm always back into the action so much faster. Squads work better. I'm able to spawn on other people and get back into the objective and play sooner, and the game just feels more responsive, more kinetic, more Twitch-based, and just more... It really does feel like a blending of like Battlefield meets Call of Duty, and I know to some people that's a sad thing, but to me, as someone who loves Call of Duty, I feel like this is like the best Battlefield. I'm just really loving it, and so I don't have too much to say about it other than I'm a day one purchaser of this game. I can't wait for it. Have not pre-ordered it yet, but I suspect I probably will pre-order it like a day or two before it comes out, just so I can pre-download it and have it ready to go so that I come home from work that day and just fucking play the hell out of this game. In fact, I'm starting to think, I always have a lot of vacation days to burn because I have no friends and no life and I don't ever do anything. I'm starting to think maybe this game, October 10th is a Friday. I should just take that day off work. I should just take October 10th off work and have a Battlefield weekend and just fucking, love is a Battlefield all over my bedroom floor while I play this game for fucking 30 hours that weekend. That'd be fantastic. But, all right, Mr. Maug writes in and says, "Howdy, Jesse. I've had a bit of a different experience with Battlefield 6. It ran great on my PC, but I kept getting killed despite being decent at other FPS games on keyboard and mouse. Then for weekend 2, I played it on my Xbox and was doing much, much better. I still felt like my aim was better on PC, though." Yeah, I played a couple times on Xbox, I played a lot on mouse and keyboard on my PC, and then I played a lot on Xbox controller on my PC. And for some reason, I thought mouse and keyboard was the way to go, but what I ended up liking the most was playing with an Xbox controller on my PC. And it's so weird because playing with an Xbox controller on my Xbox didn't feel good, but playing with an Xbox controller on my PC felt perfect. So I don't know what's happening here, but yeah, I will agree this game is kind of fucked when it comes to like just controller feels and everything. I've seen a lot of people bitching and moaning about this, and it just seems like the game just feels different on different platforms for no real reason. And so I don't know what's going on there, but I hope that's something that they can address. Dead Captain James writes in, says, "I really am enjoying Battlefield 6. It's pretty much what I was hoping for in a Battlefield game. It's got a few things I don't care for, but as a 20-year fan of the franchise, it feels like a worthy sequel." That is the best praise you could get there. 20-year veteran of Battlefield games giving a thumbs up, saying, "Hey, it's a good game." I hope they're able to attack some of the things longtime fans aren't so happy with and get everyone on board. But man, so far, I'm just so enamored with this game. Mr. Cargo Runner writes in and says, "Great to hear your excitement for Battlefield 6. I love destructibility in games. It makes the game feel really real and immersive. There was more destructibility in the Xbox 360 era. I've been waiting patiently for games to get away from the beautiful but fake baked-in shadows and lighting effects so we can blow up some shit again." Well, I got some good news for you because Battlefield 6 sure does have some fun blowing shit up. Isn't it? God, it's so fun. It's so fun to watch that shit happen. I love that one map in the weekend too. There's that New York map where there's like I was playing Domination or they call it King of the Hill. And it was so cool because like I like so there's like the street part of the map, but then there's these two buildings, and the buildings have a sky bridge that connects building A to building B. And so there's this one point where I'm playing King of the Hill, right? And then like the hard point or the capture point is in one of the two buildings. Let's call it building A. And so I'm like sitting on the hard point. I'm getting my points. We're winning. Everything's good. And then the timer runs out, and the hard point moves in from building A into building B. So I'm like, no problem. There's a sky bridge. So I move up to the next floor, and I start running from one building over to the sky bridge to get into the other building to capture the new hard point objective. But as I'm approaching the sky bridge, someone from down on street level takes out an RPG and blasts the fucking sky bridge. and the whole thing comes crumbling down to the ground, and I fell out of the building onto the floor, and now you can no longer go from building A into building B by taking the sky bridge. You have to go out of building A, down to the bottom floor, out to the street level, then run over to building 2, go in the parking garage and work up a couple floors to where the new objective is, just because some fucking asshole took out the bridge that connects the buildings. And I'm like, this is the kind of map interactivity that makes this game so dynamic and so fun. And you think about like a Call of Duty map that's just 3 predictable lanes over and over and over again. It's like this shit, like, don't get me wrong, that was frustrating as hell. We lost the point. It sucked. It was a huge inconvenience. I had to run around the map, but it's so fun because you watch it happen. You're like, that's fucking sick that you can do that in this game. And you just know that guy shot that bridge and watched me fall and die and was like, fuck yeah. And like, I almost just had a fun time knowing what a good time that guy just had watching all that go down. And so like, that's the stuff that happens in this game where I'm just like, fucking Battlefield 6, man. It's such a good game. And then Cronky writes in and says, I have to say that I'm genuinely impressed by Battlefield 6. The overall opinion on it seems to be really high as well, so here's hoping that it works out. If it's another 2042 situation, then this franchise is doomed. I think there's no way it's another 2042 situation. I think at the very least, this game is going to be a huge success. Will it beat Call of Duty? Probably definitely not. But will it be a hugely successful Battlefield game? It looks like it. All signs point to yes. So yeah, man, I'm really looking forward to Battlefield 6. I'm really sad that we got to go two months now without playing it, but I can get back to Donkey Kong Bonanza now and some other games. So there's plenty of stuff to keep us busy, but goddamn, I miss Battlefield 6. But that's it for what I've been playing, you guys. Let's round out the podcast now with the best, last, and final segment, the comments, the shout-outs from YouTube.com. You know how it works. You go to YouTube.com, click on the latest episode of the podcast, Xbox on Podcast, and you can say anything you want in the comments section. Say, Jesse, you're a dick, or Jesse, you're a prick, or Jesse, they should call you Nick. And I'll say, thanks for the feedback, and then we'll move on with our lives. So we got 4 more comments to get into this week, you guys. Starting with Happy Mario, who says, hi, Jesse. Thanks for the podcast. Agreed. Children should be protected from seeing and playing 18 plus content. Surely that's down to the parents. I don't trust the government in the UK. They're locking people up for their comments on Twitter. We have to do a selfie for a certain website, lol. Now, wait, no way I'll be uploading my face. I'm going back to VHS videos. Didn't play Battlefield Beta, but I am picking up when it is released. Will you be playing Helldivers on Xbox? Yes, sir. No exciting food for me. Best I can do is a jacket potato with cheese and beans, washed down with a cup of tea. Have a good week. Happy Mario, I love you so much, and I appreciate that you talk about the food you're eating. And maybe jacket potatoes with cheese and beans and a cup of tea is a phenomenal meal. But there's something about you describing that just sounds so sad and boring, knowing full well that Park C and I have been enjoying Taco Bell like absolute kings. But Happy Mario, possibly you live to be like 75 years old, and then I get a heart attack at 42 because Taco Bell. So maybe you'll have the final laugh, Mr. Happy Mario. Maybe you'll be the happiest Mario of all when all is said and done. So thank you for writing in. I hope you have a wonderful week. And that monkey with the bagpipes in your profile picture, I hope he's having a great week as well. Cronky writes in and says, when you were talking about people should just buy a PS5, you missed the only competitive edge that Xbox still has. Backwards compatibility with frame per second boost, or FPS boost. If you're like me, that's the most important feature and the only thing keeping me on Xbox at this point. Well, I mean, that's great, but at the end of the day, like, that's a great feature for hardcore gamers and legacy players. It's not the thing that's going to, like, make little Jimmy buy Xbox over PlayStation. Little Jimmy's going to get a PlayStation over an Xbox because his friends at school have a PlayStation, and he doesn't give a shit about FPS boost or backwards compatibility, because why would he play a bunch of games from a boomer time period called the Xbox 360 when old freaks like you played video games and he was in his mother's womb? So it's just that simple. I just think, as great of a feature as it is, those are like those quality of life additive features that Xbox is so good at, while they're completely dropping the ball and failing hard on that core stuff that matters most. Like, I don't know, an affordable console with great exclusive games that makes people want to play your platform instead of PlayStation. But you know, you can always just, when in doubt, put your games on PlayStation. All right. Next up, Decoy Doctopus writes in and says, of course you'd say you're not a football fan when Florida State, and Miami are all having down years. I jest. Please don't say you'd be a Georgia fan anyway. Oh, I would not be a Georgia fan. We have the same Battlefield experience, except I played Battlefield 2 on Xbox. I played a lot of 1943 and played a good bit of 3 before I fell off. I think it'd be a good thing if 6 is a success. I think 6 is going to be a great success, and I'm happy everyone's enjoying it. Decoy Doctopus. I'm genuinely not a football fan. If I had to be a football fan, like gun to my head, I'd be a Tampa Bay Buccaneers fan, easily. But I'm not a football fan. I'm not a football hater. I just don't follow football or really care about football because there's only so much time. There's only so much time and energy to go around, and football is where I have to draw a line because when it comes to me in sports, it's like we got baseball and hockey. Football, I'm sorry, you're out. But that being said, no, never. If I became a football fan, never would I be a college football fan. Let me just say that first of all, never. Because when you say Georgia, I assume you're talking UGA, not the Atlanta Falcons. But no, I would not be a Georgia football fan at all, but especially not a Georgia college football fan because the only thing that I resent from my upbringing in North Georgia is, oh my God, what the fucking... Dude, oh my God, white people in rural South plus college football. Oh my God, put a goddamn bullet in my brain, dude. I can't handle. Listen, if you love college football, more power to you. I'm happy that you love that. I'm happy that you have that. But it is all people eat, breathe, and sleep in fucking North Georgia's college football. You never seen so many 57-year-old balding white dudes with beer bellies obsessed about the well-being of young, spry, 20-year-old college athletes. They really know a whole lot about these guys. Like, have you guys seen Davon Jackson? He's really got a good arm this season. It's like, bro, do you know where your own son is right now? You know he's sucking dick at the police station right now. It's like, dude, I can't with the college football fandom and the energy and the rivalry and the aggressiveness. I can't. Never a Georgia fan. No. The only Georgia sports team I was ever a fan of were the Atlanta Thrashers, rest in peace, of course. But anyway, Decoy Doctopus, thank you for writing in. Mr. Cargo Runner has the final comment this week and says, why is everyone suddenly thinking that Sony is going to pull all their single-player games, or put all their single-player games on the Xbox store? Just gives the Xbox 30% of the money. If the next Xbox is an open platform, then Sony can just create their own PC store. Your Xbox will have the Sony store on it, and Xbox gets zero money, and Sony will be laughing all the way to the bank. So your next Xbox could also be a PlayStation, sure. Some people are right. The console wars are over. Every next-gen console is a PlayStation. Great job, Microsoft. I love this interpretation. This is not so subtly how it goes, but it's PlayStation games through Steam, right? But yeah, listen, it's been over for a long time. Xbox doesn't stand a prayer of a chance. All we can hope for as Xbox fans is that they're able to stick around for a decent amount of time so we can continue to enjoy the platform. But this idea that Xbox has a prayer of a chance of coming back and being competitive with PlayStation, it's completely dead and gone. And it's for no reason other than Game Pass, and probably the acquisition of Activision. But we don't have to get into all that for the millionth time. Cargo Runner, I appreciate you writing in, and I agree. No one has, in all of everything that's going on, Sony stands to win the most. Unless you count Nintendo also, in which case maybe Nintendo has the opportunity to win the most. But Xbox, it's over. We're just a bunch of has-beens holding on to a different time, a better time where a man can listen to 3 Days Grace while playing Rainbow Six New Vegas on his Xbox 360, drinking a Coors Light. But unfortunately, those days are behind us, and now so is this podcast. You guys, that is going to do it for another week of Xbox On. Hope you all had a great time listening, and I appreciate all of you who leave feedback, rate the podcast, leave comments. Please continue to do all those things. It helps a great deal, and it really helps me to feel like this podcast is worth doing, because when I see the audience numbers engage with the show, then I feel like the show is worth doing, and when I see the numbers flat as shit, I feel like, what the fuck am I doing with my life? And so make me not have to question myself, make me feel like I'm enough, and just give the podcast 5 stars, sight unseen. Thank you. Please. I love you all, and I don't know why we have so many British viewers now, but I love you guys the most because, honestly, you guys have stuck around the best. It's crazy when you think about it. We used to have a lot of Australian listeners. They come and go. we've had a lot of American listeners, and they do this show. What they do with everything is they come in, they make some noise, and then they abandon you. But you know who's been the most staunch and supportive through all of it are our friends across the pond. And into that, I just want to say to all of our UK listeners, thank you all so much for your love and support and your comments each and every week. I just want you to know I think higher of you than I think of Shia LaBeouf, and Shia LaBeouf was a very influential actor for my generation because Transformers happened. So anyway, thank you all so much. Have a great week. Enjoy not playing Battlefield 6 because you got 2 months to go. But until next week, Gears of War comes to PlayStation, fucking Helldivers comes to Xbox. Get ready for some funky, unforeseen video game releases on competing platforms. And oh yeah, power your dreams.